Right, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Um, my name is Big Ron 1989. You can call me Ron, Aaron, or whatever. You can call me a twat if you want. I don't care. Um, so this is a response to Mr. Greener 69er, as opposed to him deeming one of my close friends, Wet Mackerel, a lawyer. As people have pointed out, Greener, let's be perfectly fair, you're bearing false witness. If he hadn't replied to you, then why would you feel the need to keep posting fucking tags and lines saying, oh, he's such a faggot, he's still not replied to me? You know, get real. You're bearing false witness, you're breaking one of the 10 Commandments. You and everyone like you are going to come straight to hell with myself and Wet Mackerel. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. You must know this. You keep preaching about how you're doing God's will and how, you know, this is the will of God and this is the will of Jesus Christ, and if God was here today he'd be very proud of the work you're doing. He wouldn't. Let's be honest, Greener, he'd kick your ass and he'd knock you from one side of the planet to the other, which, I mean, in your view is probably flat, so I mean it's not that far. But I just can't be doing with all the bullshit you keep spreading about people. I mean, it's not just Wet Mackerel, you're picking on everyone. I mean, you've censored me. I was civil. Wet Mackerel was civil. I assume that 3/4 of the people that come back to you try to be civil. I'm an atheist. It doesn't mean I have to turn around and go, do you know what? You're a wanker, you know, you're going to die, you're going to do this. Let's all tear down religion. My goal is not to tear down religion. This is an area of free speech. I'm just here to fucking put my views across. The difference between you and I is that I do mine in a slightly more peaceful and non-confrontational manner. I, like Wet Mackerel, am a pacifist. I wouldn't go as far as to take the Buddhist stance that he's taken, in that I wouldn't, you know, cause harm on anyone. I've always been a great believer in your own Bible's view of eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And if you start on one of me and one of my people, that's when I come back at you and say, well, hang on a minute. We said nothing to you, yet you turned around and tried to tear us down with your words and your lies, and just by generally being a complete ass. I mean, I don't know if you're married or have children or if you're a priest or whatever. You know, there's no need for it. You don't have to come across as a big hard man with big religious views that just, you know, dictate you should be horrible to anyone that doesn't share the same opinions. Nobody is like that nowadays. Well, I say that, you're like that nowadays. But you're fighting a losing battle because people just don't want to fight you. There's no fun, there's no gain, there's no ground to be had by fighting people like you. You sit in your studies and your houses and you just, you know, you try to make us feel bad by calling us faggots and Satanists. We're not faggots and Satanists. Fair play, there might be some homosexual atheists out there, but what right have you got to judge? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? What fucking right have you got to turn around and say you're in the wrong? You know, I'm going to be awful to you, I'm going to censor you, take the piss, call you names, bully you, and this is what it is, it's bullying. But you're just sitting there and going, well, hang on a minute, you know, I'm in the clear because God's got my back. God didn't even save his own son from a brief period in hell. What fucking chance have you got? You're going to burn like the rest of us, if that is the fate that awaits us. I personally feel quite content with the knowledge I'm going to be stuck in the ground and go back into a tree, or a river, or a rock, or something. I don't have to believe in some supernatural power that's going to raise me up through the clouds. I'm happy as I am. Why the hell can't you respect me for that? I mean, you've censored me as well, and that pisses me off. I would never censor anyone on any of my channels. But you just feel the need to try and twist people, to serve your own means. And a brief hint for the future: twist people that won't fucking fight back.